Welcome, everybody, here to another episode of the Reservation Round-Up live here at Quebedeaux on 446 Sports. I am Billy French, your voice of Tioga football. Of course, Chuck Perkins behind the camera producing. And Coach Cook got a lot more hair on his head than the last time you seen him. This is Coach Book. Coach Book, of course, filling in for Coach Cook here.
It's a bigger
Coach
shirt,
Cook
too. I wear a bigger shirt,
That
too.
was you saying that, buddy? I ain't saying that. Of course, you know Coach Book. He's always been a staple here at Quebedeaux during the shows. Offensive line, the other line. You said wide receivers filling in
I'm all
tonight.
about it.
You're doing everything, of course. And we love the coaches here at Tioga. But another week here getting started. We're here at Quebedeaux every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We were just talking a little bit off the air, except for next week because we play on Thursday night on Halloween night at Grant High School. But last week we head on down to, up to West Washita. I got the whole schedule out in front of me. We headed over to West Washita. Beautiful facilities out in the middle of the country. Just when you hit it, you see it. It pops up at you, kind of like in a little bowl down in the bottom there. Wasn't it pretty nice?
The campus was beautiful, and for the most part, until we got to the game, and I'm not going to get into that. But everybody was very hospitable. Everybody there was, we were welcome. We were comfortable, and the campus was beautiful. It really was, but it was just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
it was. I talked to the media team prior to the game. Of course, they were extremely friendly.
Absolutely.
Kind of gave us rosters and everything, which is what we do here at Tioga. The same thing. If somebody comes in, we're going to return the favor and make sure it's it's easy for everybody. Outcome wasn't what we wanted. Had a lot of things going on. Of course, broadcast. We had some issues with the internet as well. We had some. It was a slower game because of the penalties, of course, and that slowed everything down. And it ended up we were getting messages that people were almost done, and we were just getting into halftime, with the penalties. And but again, you take away some good, you take away some bad. Of course, we lose that game with a total of 48-26. Again, just like it's been all season long, Coach. The score really doesn't dictate the game. The game was a lot closer than what the score dictated.
It was, and we've all, as a coaching staff, will say this. It's just different with this team. The record doesn't reflect their effort. They play extremely hard, and they don't stop. I mean, I've been on teams, not necessarily just here at Tioga, or whether we were winning or losing. Even when I was at Menard, kids their age, we're up or we're losing. It's time to shut it down, and they've never done that. Like, this group of kids have never done that. In any game we've been in, it's always been a grind to the very end.
Absolutely. Again, and it's kind of followed a pattern. When we do lose this season, we're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then something happens, turnover, or it could be a penalty or what have you, and then they score again, and that's how that lead stretches. And so it's really a tight game almost to the end. Maybe the last 4 or 5 minutes, things get out of hand. But on the offensive side, Tioga, y'all have just all season long really been able to put up a lot of points. Malone had himself a night. Case had a really, really good night. He had the pass to Kervin Johnson. He had the 1-yard touchdown run. Then he threw it to Kewan Kyle, which we're going to apologize to Kewan because of the broadcast. I got a message. I'm not going to say who it was from, but we haven't seen Kewan this season on the wide receiver. It's always been Angelo Shelton. Was that third with Christian Isles and Kervin. Well, I got a message saying that there was an issue with some of the jerseys. Didn't specify him, so I took that as so it's my fault. So there were some issues with some jerseys that had got some stuff on there or something. Yeah. And maybe a couple had to swap, but they didn't ever say, they specified, they didn't say it was that particular person. So I assumed, and you know what assume means.
It happens.
Yeah, and so I want to personally apologize. He is here, by the way. I want to personally apologize to Kewan Kyle for calling you Angelo Shelton. I will never call you Angelo Shelton again. You have my word, my friend. I promise that.
Just be glad he was able to pronounce his name correctly tonight.
Yes.
Well, those kids don't really. I mean, they're glad they're being seen. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody's been called something different. It doesn't matter. He caught the ball. He's being broadcast. People can see him. So that's all that really matters.
It's a benefit. But I want to say, again, I know how it is because mom and daddy or grandma, grandpa, aunts and all, they love hearing their kids' name called, and you want to make sure it's right. So Kiwan, it won't be called anything but that from here on out. But then Malone has another 6-yard touchdown run. That's the scoring offense for this for Tioga. Our Tioga offense is averaging 36.4 points a game this season. That's really good.
Well, Coach Landry's done a great job, and I'll go back to the kids again because that's what I'm going to do. They have truly bought into what we're trying to do, different personnel packages and stuff. When a kid is called upon, like a Kiwan or a Ponche, that have been primarily playing defense, or a Tarver Landry,
man, been a huge...
that just, hey, man, we need you to come play 3 steps at tight end. Okay, coach, just give me a wristband, you know, and they just go out there and they compete at the highest level that they possibly can, and they're unselfish. So it's been a joy. Like I said, the record doesn't reflect
not at all
the joy that we're having coaching the kids or the effort that the kids are putting out, because it just doesn't reflect that. So.
Absolutely. Again, and it kind of got away towards the end. You know, it was really tight at halftime, and then these things happen. Again, district play is always tough. Doesn't matter who you play, who you're playing against. And a lot of these young men, well, pretty much all these young men, this was the first time they've ever gone to West Washita, into that area. So that's another notch on their belt. You know, the next time that happens, they're because you got a lot of sophomores playing this year. In 2 years, their senior year, they'll be going back that way, and it won't be daunting or anything there. But super impressed with both sides of the ball. There was just a few things here and there, and that's something that Tioga's working on throughout this season to get better. All these difficulties that we're having early on in the season will come to fruition. Things will start going into place, even if it's not for this year. For next year, it'll make this team even stronger.
Well, and they're all learnable moments, and. Coach Mooter takes a lot of pride in defense. I'll talk a little bit about defense, and the defensive staff. They, us coaches, when we coach our position, take pride in the outcome. What is put out on the field. I mean, the hours that we spend, the hours that the kids spend away from their family, the way we do too. And it's just, a tale as old as time as far as with football. And they're just right. They're right there in the right spot, but it's a half an inch, or it's the same thing like us. It's a half an inch, or a ball that's overthrown by this much, or we miss a block. One person to spring. It's those little things, like you said, that build upon that we reaped the benefits of last year. We didn't miss those blocks, and Norris made those interceptions. That he missed as a sophomore or as a junior. He made all those plays. So we're putting money in the bank. So.
I agree 100%. That's a really good way to look at that, how you're building it right now for your future. I don't know, Chuck, are you good with the graphics here for our last week? Our Security Sporting Goods player of the game, we already called his name. He had a great night. Excuse me. Was part of all 4 touchdowns for Tioga. So our Security Sporting Goods player of the game is none other than number 15, Mr. Case Malone. Well-deserved. He almost had it a couple weeks ago, and then Travis Adams just throws 5 touchdowns there, and you can't do anything about that. So Case had himself a great night, so congratulations to him. Well, our Southern Air Cool play of the game, it was fun for me to call because you'll hear it here in just a second. I'm not normally a loss for words. But it took me a second to figure out who it was, first off, because he hasn't played any offense all year long. He steps into the game, and not only does he step into the game, he makes a ridiculous catch.
Absolutely.
And so check it out right here. This is our Southern Air Cool play of the game. In the shotgun.
Curving on the bottom. I don't know who it is on the left side of it.
Case looking to throw. Steps up and throws. And what a catch. Was that? Mark that. What a beautiful catch. There it is right there. That was tall. He has not played offense all year long. Now, he got the lineman award a couple weeks ago. But that's Tarver Landry with a absolutely beautiful full extension catch. And I make fun of him on Saturdays and Mondays when we're at, he does the chain at the Red River. And I'll tell him to his face, and he'll probably smile. He looks like, him and Mooter both, when they're doing are the laziest. Look, when they're out there, they got the cup in one hand, they're holding the down markers.
They're chilling, man.
They're on like vacation the
chilling.
whole time. But when they step on the field, it's an entirely different thing. I'm telling you, I was so impressed didn't know he had that kind of skill set. Did y'all know? I mean, clearly you did. You put him on the offensive side.
I mean, he's a baseball player. I mean, and like I said, Tioga as a whole is a community as far as what we're doing. And we have athletes that excel in all the sports. Like the receivers we'll have, you have, Kervin Johnson, I think it was second he won in the triple jump. And at the state when we ran track and field, and Angelo the same thing. So
And Kervin's in basketball, too.
Kervin's in basketball. And, it's all multi-sports and, like I said, the effort. If you look at the screen, the score's 35-14. The guy's leaving his feet for a catch.
Yeah.
So he could literally just, I'm not going to catch that ball. It was out of my reach. I don't want to try. But he's,
And then did the whole throw the ball. I like that. After
he might have dropped it on accident. He
yeah,
didn't
no, I like it. I think they throw too many penalties on the celebrations a little bit because they're young men. They're excited. They're having a good time. But so that was our Southern Air Cool Play of the game. So this is breaking news here. This is going to be the Express Employment Professionals. You had one job. Lyman Award winner is none other than, boom, number 67, Chase Thomas on the defensive side had himself a night. Called his name all night long. Just absolutely was wreaking havoc in the running game. Of course, they ran the ball 99.9% of the time. And so Chase Thomas, well-deserved, is our Express Employment. You had one job, and he did his job. So congratulations to that young man, number 67, Chase Thomas. So that's the awards. That's what happened last week here. Again, the outcome not what we wanted, coming in now 0-2 in district play. We got 3 games left here. We got a home game against Peabody tomorrow night. Then we have a short run here to Thursday night. We turn around and we go to Grant. And then we come back and we finish up senior night here at the reservation against a phenomenal Franklin Parish. We get to see that quarterback again. I know you want to get your defensive line to get him some time. But so again, not where we're wanting to be right now, but we're going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing to get to where we want. As look, you got a fan, you got your wife out there watching.
She's at Red River practice right now,
watching her husband on the show,
grinding it out. So, but going back to the schedule, like I said, and I think a lot of coaches say this too, that's why you play the game, you know. So we'll strap up, we'll play tomorrow and hopefully come out with a victory, and then next week we'll prepare and we'll play, and then we'll play until we pick their stuff up.
Look, that's all we do, and we do it every year. We've been doing it for a long, long time. We're blessed to be a part of the Tioga community. I wouldn't want to call for anybody else. I've got roots here. My kids came here, so of course I love my Tioga Indians.
I actually have deep roots that a lot of people don't know.
Oh, well, go ahead. Share.
So, on my mom's side, her maiden name was Furby. They live right there off of Aints Road, in Roe Gully, and all my aunts and uncles and their wives, all 5 or 6 of her brothers and sisters, all graduated from Tioga High School.
And where did you graduate from, Coach?
I'm an Eagle. I'm a Menard Eagle.
Well, I know you had coached at Menard. I didn't realize that you had also went there.
I'm still rooting for my Eagles, so I watch the replays. If we're victorious on Friday, I go back and watch Full Force Sports and the Eagle replay. But if we're losing, I don't watch nobody.
You don't want to hear Tom. only if you're winning.
I just go to bed. Yep.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. Of course, that's one of our sisters. We have Menard, we have Pineville. Of course, here at Tioga, we do it. Ash having a great year this year over there. We picked up St. Mary's. Yes. We have Buckeye. We've been blessed to be a part of the 446 sports family and always looking to do better. I'm partial. I think we have the best videographer because we have Chuck. He makes everything so smooth. Look, all I do is talk. That's it. My job is easy. I could not do anything without Chuck.
The kids enjoy it. The kids enjoy it too.
Well,
I knew about whatever.
We're not going to say it. There were some technical difficulties during the broadcast.
And the kids were like, Coach, if you go to this number, I was like, you watched it on the
timestamp?
They had it on timestamp.
Wow.
And not only was that, they watched the whole game. So, like I said, I plead the fifth.
There's a Google Classroom assignment somewhere.
100%. And I'm all about it. I dish it out. I got to take it too.
Yeah. So. Well, at least you're passionate, Coach. We know that you are passionate. We'll drop it at that. That day spelled 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. The fifth.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, last week's over.
Absolutely.
We, now that that's over, and I know you guys did all your research, all the footage that you needed to watch to work on to get better. And then now we shift over to, and I'll talk to Coach Cook about it here in a little bit. I'll talk to you a little bit with the Peabody. Of course, Peabody coming in kind of very similar. They have the same record, 2-5. They've lost their last two in district play, lost to Grant and lost to Franklin Parish last week. But, last year we were in that double overtime game against that Peabody, and it was a heart-pounding game to call. I know it had to be, with coaching-wise, just back and forth. And they, with D-Pass, that senior they had last year, man, that dude was something special.
Well, and then we had to watch him in track, too. So, like I said, they Coach Coleman does a great job. Coach Cook will attest to that, too.
Yeah.
And he does the right things by his kids and, gets them ready to play. And I said it to him in track season. I said it to him after the game. We weren't overlooking y'all last year. Y'all just did a great job.
Yeah.
Like, the kids weren't overlooking anybody, and they just came and play, and we just happened to – I don't even say squeak it out. We earned the victory last year. So
that was hard. I mean, that was the game when Ja'Cory Norris messed up. It was like broken rib or something or other with his rib and could barely breathe. Barely was able to do the little post-game interview before his mom took him to the hospital. But very memorable ball game. Of course, we enjoyed it. I love calling those kind of games. You enjoy the 56-0 or the 44-7 blowouts when you're on the good side of that. But the memorable games are always those ones that are really tight.
Well, and I'll credit Ponche. I know they had a running backs night here, but he said something to me in the hallway. Actually, he was coming in the first hour, and he said, Coach, I enjoy losing hard-fought games than beating people that we have no competition against.
Right.
And that came from a kid. That didn't even come from a coach. So, like I said, those hard-fought games and the grinding out, I mean, the kids enjoy it too. So I think they're welcoming it. So, and it should be one tomorrow night. It's not going to be anything that's easy, and we're going to have to earn it. So
that's right. Week 3 of district play here. Tioga hosts Peabody. We're going to talk to Coach Cook about that here in a little while. Thank you, Coach Book. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Make sure you go get your food.
That was the bribe, and I jumped on it. So
Coach Cook said, hey, come take the first shift, because he had another interview. He said, come take the first shift. I'm going to buy you dinner. Coach Book was on his way.
Absolutely.
But we appreciate you, Coach. We always thank you so much, man. We'll take a break. We're going to come right back, talk to Coach Cook, talk to him about Peabody, and then we're going to talk to wide receivers here tonight a little bit later on in the show. This is a 446 Sports production of the Reservation Round-Up live here at Quebedeaux. We'll be right back.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
At Wallace Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Welcome back, everybody, here to 446 Sports presentation of the Reservation Round-Up live here at Quebedeaux. Head coach is back. He is here. I was making fun of Coach Book. I said, I told him he was Kevin Cook with hair.
Hey.
And he's like, no, my shirt's a little bit bigger, too.
I'd like to see Kevin Cook with some hair. Trust me.
I think our days are gone, buddy, on that.
I'm afraid it's over with.
Hey, look, we're back here. We're going to talk a little bit, and again, Coach Book and I talked a little bit about last week's disappointing loss, but things to work on, things that you guys took from that.
Yeah.
And you get better each and every week. But we're shifting gears now over to Peabody. Big game, week 3. Both teams coming in at 2-5, 0-2 in district play. Lost their last 2 games. Peabody loses to Grant 13-10, and then they run into a buzzsaw with Franklin Parish. And we know how good that quarterback and them over there. And so they're coming in 0-2. So both teams kind of really looking for a win here in district play, and of course it's a familiar opponent that. They got a great coach over there in Coach Coleman.
Oh, I really like Coach Coleman. I'd love to steal him.
Yeah.
After the game, if he comes up missing, everybody now knows what happened. So.
Well, his players have really bought into the system over there at Peabody. And for years and years and years, Peabody's been a basketball school that happens to play football.
Yeah.
And when he comes in there and he takes over, he changes that entire culture and that mentality. And they've really bought in at Peabody, and they've been a formidable, good team every year since he's been there.
They have been, and I think a lot of him. I've enjoyed our interactions together, and then we've had some good football games. I think last year was one of the better games I've coached in. Definitely wish somebody wouldn't have had to lose that game.
Yep.
Just everything you want a high school football game to be, it was. And fortunately, we were able to come out on top of that. It did cost us our safety for the rest of the season, though. And that's the game where Jacorian had the lacerated kidney, and he was out, for the remainder of the season with that injury. But matter of fact, he got injured on the game-winning touchdown in the second overtime.
Yep.
So, but outside of that, it was just a good football game for both teams and a long-lasting football game.
Well, yeah, Coach Book and I have mentioned this a little bit too. Yeah, it was a double overtime that Tioga did get the win. And, of course, Jacorian had done everything all season long with returns and catches and fumbles and, just all the things that he did. Laid it out there completely on that last play, and then immediately, I think he did like a post-game interview or something. They got rushed straight to the hospital.
Right, went straight to the ER and stayed in the hospital for a few days.
Yeah, and just absolute, of course, we love Jacorian Norris, and he's a huge staple. What a season. One of the best seasons any Tioga Indian has ever had, especially on that defensive side with interceptions in special teams.
Yeah.
He just had it. And so that game, again, 2 overtime, Tioga gets the win. Blessed to have them come back again this year to the reservation.
Yeah.
That's always
just the way it fell. Just coincidence. So
I love it. Well, of course, the reseeding, that's right, because we brought in the new teams, Wassman and West Washington, into the district. So it's going to be a fun night. They don't have D-Pass anymore, but they do have Hullaby, and him and Larry Roberts are two pretty good ball players over there at Tioga.
Yeah, definitely. They're always going to have some great players, and it's just a matter of can you handle them?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can handle them, but we'll find out at 7:00 tomorrow. I think our coaches have a great game plan on both sides of the football. I'm excited. They're the first team that we are going to see all year that is 70% pass. And so it's just kind of a totally flipped opposite of what you typically run into. And I told our defensive coordinator, I may regret saying this. I hope I don't. But when I was a DC down south, we would see this. It wasn't that uncommon to see a heavy throwing team back in my time frame down there. And I loved it. I love defending the pass, and so it's just a fun night as a defensive coordinator. The nights that aren't fun are like last week. As a defense coordinator, they're just boring and not fun.
Runs.
Yeah, and so, but at any rate, they're the opposite of what we've seen all season. And so it'll be very interesting to see, how our kids react to that defensively. Offensively, I feel good about Coach Landry's game plan. And of course, Coach Tripp is always going to do a great job with special teams.
Yes.
And he has some things installed there that I think are going to be exciting. So.
Well, I had mentioned to Coach Book a little while ago. I don't have the stats on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, through the first 7 games, Tioga, 6 games. We're going into week 7. Am I wrong? Yeah, we've played 7 games. I'm so sorry. Here we go. And we've averaged 36 points a game on the offensive side. That's a blessing. Any offense would pretty much enjoy that. To be able to have that kind of scoring.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be fun to watch how because Karlinski's done a really good job in the secondary. His only issue, of course, it's not an issue. You can't do anything about it. Just the height disparity sometimes when he gets lined up on a 6'3", 6'4" receiver.
Well, he's a very good corner.
He's very good,
very talented corner, and he does do a very good job in coverage. He's a little faster than what people give him credit for.
Yeah, it's there.
But it's in his blood. His brother was an outstanding football player at Tioga High School as well. So and there's another one. There's a younger one, a freshman.
Oh, good.
He's a lineman, so he looks a little different than the others.
He's no DB or
he's
wide
not
receiver.
a DB. It looks kind of funny, but anyways, we're excited about all of them. So.
Right. Well, I point out, Carly, he's had a couple really, really good pass breakups in this season. Of course, we've had Jackson Tarver really step up in the secondary in the safety position, helping on that side. Yeah. And, of course, Kenny Ponche as well in the safety spot. But, your DBs have done very, very good job this season. It's fun to watch them grow, and I'm really excited to see because –
well, they're going to get challenged tomorrow night,
and
so I'm excited to see, what their response to that is. And of course, we have some guys up front that, that Coach Mutter does a very good job of heating up the quarterbacks on the opposing team, and he'll dial some of his specialties up for that, and so. I'm excited about it. I'm glad to be home. It's been a long 2 weeks away from the reservation. I'm glad to be at home tomorrow night too.
Well, one of the strengths on our defense definitely is that defensive line getting pressure on the quarterback. So, me as a watching, of course, my son playing football, loved it when we played against a passing team because that told me my son gets to rush the quarterback. He gets to be because that's what he loves to do is a pass rush. So I imagine I'm going to be saying a whole lot to AJ Adams and the whole crew over there, and hopefully everybody's we can kind of disrupt that quarterback here and lead to that secondary getting some interceptions.
Well, I hope so. We would love to win the turnover battle tomorrow night. We have been struggling in the turnover battle area, but that still it translates to the win-losses, and that's just part of life. That's part of football. We need to get some turnovers tonight, win that battle, and I feel good about the game when that happens. I feel good about the game anytime, and any football coach at any level does. So it's probably a cliche thing to say, but it is something that we're trying to work on, and hopefully tomorrow night, we can get in there and have some interceptions.
Coach, I would like to know, would you like to see a fight at some point in time between Billy and I?
I don't know about that, to be honest with you.
Billy's got this perplexed look. I was like, where are you going with this? But what I'm thinking is, tomorrow night would be a great time to have so many options, and we've had that with our express employment. We've had one job, the Lightman Award. I just like to have so many of them that he and I actually have to get in a fight over who we're going to pick.
That's
to be
way
there.
better than what I was imagining. I thought we were going to like the weird singlet, oily,
I was
greasy man in the ring, chasing a pig and fighting each other.
I'm ready to go.
Strange
I can stretch it out.
The hair on my body gets matted up from all that oil, so we won't do that.
Okay, it's a good thing.
Horrible visual.
It's a very bad visual.
Oh my goodness, Coach!
I don't know if I can eat my Cajun burger now.
What is he talking about? And I was fixing to start stretching, and
I didn't know what was about to happen, but I thought there's about to be a lot more people watching this show than there was before.
Our numbers are fixing to go through the roof. UFC 308.
That's right.
Between Chuck and me. No, anyway, so we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to try to clean this show up here.
Yeah,
we're going to
especially in the visuals. We're
going to get the wide receivers to come talk to us. And, of course, the wide receiver coach as well going to come talk to us. And then we're going to finish it up, of course, with our final segment with Coach Cook. This is the Reservation Roundup brought to you by 446 Sports. And we're live here at Quebedeaux. We'll be right back.
I just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby...
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And welcome back, everybody, here to Quebedeaux in Pineville. This is the Reservation Round-Up here. Every Thursday night, 7 p.m. here, we talk to Coach Kevin Cook, and we talk a little Tioga football. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit. It is wide receiver night here, and, of course, we're here with Coach Ryan DeVore. And, of course, you're the quarterback's coach, but, you're filling in tonight for the wide receivers as well.
Yes, sir.
And so we'll talk to the guys here in a little bit, but going into this night here, tomorrow night we take on Peabody. We've been able to mix it really, really well. Of course, Case Malone last week was our having 4 touchdowns. He was our security sporting goods player of the game. Well, you can only do as good as you can if you have the receivers out there to catch it. And of course, last week you had Curvin catch a touchdown, you had Kewan catch a touchdown, and I have a feeling this guy's going to catch one tomorrow night. But, again, you've had such good quarterback play, and your receivers really, really stepped up this year and made some big, big-time plays.
Yeah, we got the guys that can do it. You know, we have a guy, Curvin, I don't know, what are you, 6'2", 6'3"? That's fun to throw to.
Yeah.
You got Christian, is going to catch the ball when you throw it to him.
Absolutely.
And you got Kewan, who can blow by anybody, catch the ball. So, obviously, he's got options who he can throw to. And then Angelo, who's not here.
Yeah.
We've seen him go up and make a bunch of catches that we knew he could make. He just hadn't made some at the beginning of the year. But now he's kind of starting to show that he can do that. So
absolutely.
And Kewan wears number 4.
Yeah, and we already talked about this, Kewan. We talked about it on the air at the beginning of the show. I said I wanted to personally apologize to Kewan Kyle for calling him Angelo Shelton the other night. Again, I was told that I got a message. I'm not going to say who it was from, saying that there were some issues with some of the jerseys, and they had like a certain color, black fading in or whatever. So a couple of players changed jerseys. It's my fault for assuming that was what happened, but it's not going to happen ever again, my friend. I promise you. Kewan Kyle, I'm just going to say it. Even when you don't make a play, I'm probably just going to say something about you, just to give it back, to throw it back there. But so Kewan had a touchdown the other night. So did Curvin, and of course, to my left, of course, is Christian Isles, which Christian is, I've called him all year long, that Wes Welker type, that he'll move the chains. You get him the ball, he's going to get that first down. Introduce us to the other wide receiver here on this far side for me.
I got Braden Jones over there. Braden also plays H. He can do all the dirty work like Christian. Christian doesn't get a lot of recognition because he is in there playing Y sometimes, when Ryan gets hurt. Playing H, so he has to block a lot of times, so he doesn't get a lot of recognition. But we have missed him a few times on a chance that he could have a touchdown.
Absolutely.
But
I've seen it many a time. It's just out of the reach on a wide open. Again, you know, it happens. Unfortunately, that's part of football. But, I mean, some of the plays, of course, Kirvin's made a bunch of plays this year. The other night, is he around? I don't want to brag on Tarver Landry too much. But, you know, you say his name too many times like Beetlejuice, he pops up.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, had a heck of a catch. That was our
gosh.
Southern Air cool play of the game. And if you listen to the audio on it, I'm at a standstill. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
we were on the standstill on the sideline, too. I mean, he was full extension.
It was beautiful.
It was great.
It was beautiful. So, you know, you got so many great weapons here on this Tioga offense, especially in the skill players. And not only can you do that, but you can run the ball like a machine. And so the balance has been there all season long.
Exactly.
Tioga. I know you guys right now on offense is averaging almost 37 points a game. That's huge. That's huge in high school football. And let's hope maybe we can try to double that, you know, tomorrow night. But real quick, we'll start with Kirvin down at the end. Kirvin, you lead the team in touchdowns for catching the ball. Tell us a little bit what it's like to be a Tioga Indian, man, and how much fun it is to play wide receiver.
Oh, I mean, it's fun to get the ball, score. I just do what I can to help.
With your height, my friend, everybody's pretty much at a disadvantage. It's got to be pretty cool to see a DB that's about 5'5", 5'8", when you out there running, knowing that all you got to do is just reach your hand up and Yao Ming it and catch it over there.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of fun. Well, give it to Kiwan here. Kiwan, finally got you. You know, I've been calling your name all season long, man, and just messing with you. I'm never going to forget your name again. I'm never going to mess that up again. But you had a really good night the other night catching the ball.
Yes, sir.
It's got to be fun to getting into that offense and making big plays.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Case Malone has been throwing to you for a while now. New to this. And,
yes, sir.
It's got to be fun knowing that you got a quarterback that can get it to you and then let you do everything and make the plays, because you did a heck of a job. I don't know how many. I know you had about 4 or 5 catches on the night and a touchdown. So not the outcome we wanted, but it was fun for getting you involved in the offense, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. Now, again, what grade are you in, Kiwan?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, and Kirvin, you're a senior. You're a junior. Okay, that's what it. All right, so this is your final season. So, man, that's big. I know you're ready to go out on top.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any aspirations going to the next level?
Probably not.
You know?
No, it's probably not. No, sir.
It's not for everybody, you know.
Can I give a shout out to Kiwan?
Absolutely. I'd love for you to.
This whole year, Kiwan's been started on offense, then went to defense, and then just in case Case got hurt, we throw him in a quarterback.
Yep.
And he's never once ever said, this is stupid, doesn't ever, not give effort. So, And then we throw him in at West Ouachita, he makes some big plays. So I just think that shows his kind of character and what, he brings to our football team.
Kind of the MacGyver Swiss Army knife
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Kiwan came in a couple of years ago when Sellers went out, and you came in the quarterback. I think that was it at Bird or Captain Shreve? I think it was at the Independence Bowl.
No, sir, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
No, there you go again.
I'm doing it again. No, you should. Okay, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, I've seen you quarterback, and that's the point I'm saying is the fact that
It was last year, actually.
Okay.
When Jackson Tarver went out.
Jackson went out. Okay, see, I'm way off, but I have the right idea. I remember seeing it. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
You being that you got a guy that can play DB, like you can play DB, which you've done this season, then you come in there and you play wide receiver, and then you can play quarterback. That sports, I'm telling you, I think that's huge to have that kind of a player on a team that can really be dominating anywhere you put him.
It is.
So we'll swap it over to right here to Mr. We're caught here. Mr. Christian Isles. Christian, of course, we talk all the time. You and I you're again just an absolute awesome kid. I call you a kid. You're a young man. But
Yes,
you're
sir.
awesome young guy, and it's got to be fun. Of course, the outcome is not what you want, because I know you want to win every night.
Yes, sir.
But to see that you're getting better, it's just a few plays here and there, and finally you're getting that on the offensive side, starting to finally get the ball there for you and making first downs. What is it like for you to be an Indian? How important is that for you?
Well, it's really important because I went to Palmer Junior High, so I was over there with all them Pineville people.
All the Pineville people, I love it.
And whenever I came to Tioga, it felt like the atmosphere, just because I'm a sports guy. I'm a huge sports guy. And I feel like that whole atmosphere just kind of awakened me, and it made me really feel like I want to do everything I can for Tioga. So that really kind of built that Indian spirit up in me.
Well, it shows, absolutely shows. Of course, it's your junior year as well. And so, you want to come out on top. Of course, this is the first year in a couple of years that we don't have the winning record going into this kind of week. We're having things locked up. So you're fighting right now for these last 3 games. Has the mentality changed from the players? Even though this year is a little down, at least on the wins and losses, has the mentality changed in the locker room?
Well, it's kind of more of just like, look, guys, we got to be serious because, we're down right now. So we got to lock in, we got to do what we got to do. We got to try to make everything perfect. Like even the little things like setting up our lockers, getting our clothes, hydrating, eating food, like it's all got to be perfect. So that way when it comes to game time, we play perfect because we've been acting perfect.
Right, absolutely. And then we'll give it over to Braden. Braden, you're a sophomore coming in, so have you been able to learn a lot from a lot of these older guys?
Oh yeah, I've learned a lot of stuff. Got Christian right here. He taught you lots of learning to do from him.
Good deal. Well, I mean, is wide receiver your main position you prefer?
Yes, sir.
Is that where you're?
Yes, I played.
That's good to have skilled players when they're young as well. Now, let me ask you this: is your dad David?
Yes, that's my dad. Yeah.
Poor guy. See, that I could do a whole segment on that. But we're not going to. No, I'm just picking. Your dad's awesome. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's
of course,
great.
he always takes care of us when we, anybody that feeds us, we're big fans, of course, and we appreciate the crew over there. But so you've got a lot of growing to get. You follow a guy like Curvin, who's doing now. Kewan, Shelton, and of course Christian and Ryan Reeves. What's it like? Of course, you're a Tioga family. Your whole family is Tioga through and through. So what is it like to finally be able to get out there and be a Tioga Indian on Friday night?
Yeah, I've been watching since I was a little kid. Been watching in the stands my whole life, so I really just enjoy. It's a great atmosphere, like you said. It's great vibes.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like we'll pass it right back over here. It looks like it's going to be a heck of a season for not just season, but 4 or 5 more years, because you got a freshman class that's really good. I know the 8th grade team is. I've got to watch a couple of the junior high games. It's got to be awesome as you being a quarterback coach. There's, you got LaCour down there at 8th grade that's coming up. So when Case graduates in a year, you got somebody that's going to be sitting under him. Then not only that, we have our really, really good quarterbacks underneath Case.
And we got one sitting right over there. Yeah. Ronnie Stevens. He wasn't here a few weeks ago, but
Stevens and then Wynn, right?
Yes, and Lawton. I love working with both of them. Obviously, Ronnie's got a cannon of an arm.
Yes.
And then Lawton is really, really smart, and so he knows football. And so does Ronnie, but it's very fun to kind of see them. They've gotten better just from practice and going to the JV games and things like that. So the future looks very bright.
Now, has David Garrett jumped in receivers, or is he just on the defense?
A little bit. I think you'll see him more on defense tomorrow. But yes, he will be.
Yeah, he played some more defensive back then. But I know I love seeing it. As a matter of fact, one of our earlier in the season, our Southern Air Cool Play of the game was Stevens to Garrett.
Yes.
Normally, when you're up big like that, your younger guys come in and it's just run heavy. I love that you guys allowed them to throw it, and what a beautiful
That's
Stevens
4th and
to Garrett.
10.
Yeah,
let's take a shot. Why
what
not?
a great connection right there. That that's good for the future of Tioga football, and it's Tioga football always looks good. When you have we talk about that feeder school from the junior high. Even though Christian went to Pineville junior high. At least he made the right decision.
We won't hold that
right
against him.
He's gotten smarter, is all I can say.
He definitely got smarter. But the junior high always dominating in that little junior high league down there. Of course, Coach Travis Racine and the group over there do such a great job. And we've got a freshman class coming up that's really, really good next year. But, again, Peabody tomorrow night, Coach. It's going to be a fun night.
Yes, sir.
I know it's going to be a battle of the throwing the ball a little bit tomorrow night.
A lot of man coverage, a lot of one high. So hopefully we can hit our shots. And I think you've seen that the last few weeks. We've hit a lot more shots, especially like you said, we run the ball so well.
It sets it
up. That it just opens the box, right? And then we can run, and then they play the run, and then we can throw over the top and have guys like this.
Yeah, Curvin and Kewan last week they had separation almost every time, and that's huge to have that, And then when they do stack the box, we got guys like this that could just kind of find a little soft spot in the zone and get the first downs all night.
And to speak with Christian, I think he had an out route the other night. It was, he had a 10-yard out. Him and Case at the same time, he saw that the guy was sitting outside of him, so he just kind of set in the hole. That's just football IQ, and I think that speaks a lot to what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. He carried the ball a few times, but, which you hadn't seen a whole lot of that this year. So that's opening up a big playbook that you have here because you have that much talent on the offensive side. So we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Coach Kevin Cook here in a little while on this final segment But thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate it. This is Coach Ryan DeVore, your quarterback's coach, and then all your wide receivers here for Tioga. So, again, Kervin Johnson, Kewan Kyle, Christian Isles, and Mr. Jones over there at the end. Appreciate you, Braden, coming in and being a part of the show. We'll be back here. This is the Reservation Roundup live at Quebedeaux every Thursday night here at 7 p.m. We'll be right back on 446 Sports.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Welcome back, everybody, here to another edition of the Reservation Roundup with your head coach, Kevin Cook of the Tioga Indians. It has been a pleasure all season long. Now, we got a little shift of gears. Of course, tomorrow night at the reservation, we do play Peabody. Then next week, we shift gears. We play on Thursday night, Halloween night. I think Coach Cook did that on purpose. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we always play Grant on a Thursday night. It just happened to fall on Halloween night here this year. So we will not have a reservation roundup next Thursday night because we're going to be playing. So, that'll swap it up, and then we'll follow up the next week, have it here on Thursday night, and that'll be senior night, the night, our last home game of the season against Franklin Parish. So that'll be going in. But our final segment, which we've done the last couple of weeks here, we've always changed gears a little bit. We talk football for a good 45, 50 minutes. And then Coach Kevin Cook takes his coach hat off, puts on the pastoral robe, and gives us a little words of wisdom and faith, family, and football, how they all tie in together. So, Coach, as always, I'm going to let you take it over and just enjoy what you got to say.
This week, the word of the week was love. And you know how there's 4 different types of love that's talked about in the Bible, but we talked about the third type, which is the brotherly love amongst teammates, and as an example, and friends, and what that really means. But we did touch on the other things, such as we have to love other people in spite of their mistakes, which I make them all the time myself, and thankfully the Lord loves me anyways. And we talked about how just as a team and as players, we make mistakes, and as coaches we have to do something about those mistakes, but it's never out of anger or frustration. It's really more out of love.
Right.
But then we also talked about how we have to love each other in a way that's selfless, and how that one day when you have a wife and children, you're gonna have to love selflessly, and just, you know, care for them and take care of them despite of what it may do for you or not do for you. And so we kind of went through those things this week. So
Yeah, of course, you know, the community, and you've always I was being able to be here when you came into Tioga the second time around, when you became the head coach, should I say? That's the easiest way to say it. You know, even that first year where we went to the Pollock campground and we spent that whole weekend there, and that's stuck in my mind all these years. How great! Again, it had a very special meaning to me because I grew up in church, and that's where we had our camp meetings, was at that same facility.
Yeah.
So it brought a whole bunch of memories back for me because I stayed in those camps for a whole, I think we did 10 days back then. And we'd wake up at 4 in the morning, and we didn't go to bed till midnight and all that kind of stuff. And then the atmosphere that you brought in of not only in football, but the team bonding that we had on that group. And that was Jalen and Corbin and Logan and, you know, Kelvin and just Justin and all those guys that were so good at football, but you just absolutely made them better human beings. And now, I mean, I see Kelvin all the time. Of course, he's coaching at Red River Youth Football now. He's a board member over there.
Yep.
And he's ate up with, look, I have never seen, this is just a little change of pace, but I've never seen a 5- and 6-year-old team with their own media manager.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, Kelvin's
Kelvin
good at that,
Franklin's got it. He's got one. I mean, they're legit. They're, you know, but they have become such great young men, you know, after their football careers are over. And to me, it's a testament to you of instilling that into them and making it football not only so important in their lives, something that they love, but how it can translate over to your home life and how to treat your family and how to treat your brother.
Well, and look, we're not all perfect. You know, we don't always treat each other right. And, you know, I make mistakes along those same lines. But you know, that's where we have to try to model the love of the Lord and forgive people and no matter what the situation is and move on. And that's what he's done for all of us, despite, you know, my failures, whatever those failures may be. And that's what he would do for anybody who asks. So
yeah, look, again, my grandfather was a pastor, and I know the burden you have to do that job on you know, you got to love it because most of the time it's always bad news or something. You know, everybody else is telling all their problems, and the fact that you're able to do that and always have a smile on your face, always be you know, accepting. You know, anytime I see you, whether it's on the field, it's during the show or off the thing, you always have the easiest way I can say a kind spirit about everything. You know, and of course I know I know this segment isn't brag on Kevin Cook segment, but it means a lot to me. Of course, you know, I've known you now for 10 years, and you've always been such a good friend to me. If you know anything I need, of course, or if you know I try to do it and be reciprocal, I wouldn't want to be calling any other game than a Tioga game coached by you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that you allow us to do that every year, and we hope to keep coming back because we love Tioga, we love you, and you know, just because the record's not where we want it right now, that doesn't change anything about how well you guys have done with these young men and made them better young men. And so we appreciate that very, very much.
Well, I hope so.
So that's going to do it for us tonight here again. Every Thursday night, we're live here at Quebedeaux at 7 p.m., except for next weekend. We're not going to be here at 7 p.m.
Right.
We're going to be at the reservation. We're going to be playing the game, and we're going to be winning against Grant. So stay tuned for that. But tomorrow night, please come out to the reservation, pack the house at the reservation, and be a part of the community and help cheer on your Tioga Indians as they take on the Peabody Warhorses at 7 p.m. tomorrow night at Toomey Ingram Field, the reservation. And let's get a W here and then have a good night of football. Again, my name's Billy French. Chuck Perkins behind the camera. Thank you, Chuck, for all you do with all the great graphics, all the great commercials, everything that you do. We appreciate you so much.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much, Coach Kevin Cook, for being a part here of the Reservation Roundup. We'll see you tomorrow night. Pack the house. Make sure you come out and support your Tioga Indians. Thank you so much, and God bless you.